Hey, don't go anywhere. We got the Black Moods coming right up. They have a new album out called Into the Night. It's out June 3rd, 2022. So depending on when you're listening to this episode, it may already be out. You're definitely going to want to listen to this. I've heard the whole thing, and it's another masterpiece from the Black Moods. If you're a fan, you're going to love it. And if you're not a fan, I suggest checking this out, checking this band out if you haven't even heard the band, because they're one of my favorites. Real quick, before we get started, if you could subscribe to the show, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, that would help me out tremendously. And then you'll be updated immediately when a new podcast episode comes out. Thanks so much. Enjoy this interview with the Black Moods. Well, first off, yeah, tell me about this Cheech and Chong thing. I'm intrigued now.
You know, they called us up, asked what we were up to. We said we had a few minutes, so we went and saw them.
Yeah. Well, was it just a meet and greet, or you guys play, or did you?
No, we just hung out, little press thing, you know. But they were super nice. It was fun.
Yeah, they're doing this marijuana promotional tour. They have their own line of weed, so they came to one of the stores to do it.
I think it's cannabis.
Cannabis.
Yeah, Tommy Chong's.
Was there a big line for it though? Or was it kind of?
Yeah, there's
really
a couple hundred people there. Yeah.
Yeah. And people.
Did you guys get to cut because you're the Black Moods, or?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. No, we slept there overnight. That's how we did.
I love Cheech and Chong. They need to do more movies. Why don't they?
Maybe they will.
Maybe that's what.
Hey, I saw Spinal Tap's making a second one too.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm excited for that. Some people say that's not. It's going to be stupid. I think it's going to be amazing.
Come on, let them do it. Gosh, it's like people gotta hate on everything. Man.
It's the original members too. It's not like a remake or something.
Yeah, it's all four of them.
Yeah.
I think that's
so, last time I had you guys on, you were just putting out Sunshine, and you're about to go on tour, and then the world shut down. But that record did pretty well, right?
Yeah.
For not being able to tour on it that much, I think it did
pretty
well.
I don't think we did any touring on it. Did we?
I mean, little bits of here and there, but not as much as we should have.
Yeah.
Well, you got 4 songs on the radio, so how did you do that? Just
with the label and working with radio promo.
We called a lot of radio stations and sent a lot of videos. We did a lot of Zoom stuff like this, you know.
No, we had a radio team though, but we really did Zoom stuff. But I mean, when
the label was great to us.
We were
lucky.
We did a radio tour before COVID happened. Before Sunshine came out, we were pushing songs that were going to be released off Sunshine, Belladonna, Bad News, Whatcha Got, things like that, and Sunshine. But I think because of that, leading up to that's what we were trying to do. We were, promoting the album, and then up until the album release. Unfortunately for us, we picked a bad date to release the album, I guess, and COVID happened in March, and we were releasing the album in May. So by the time the album even came out, everything was already completely shut down. But
right.
having done those radio tours, I think before the album came out, definitely helped. That's why Sunshine stayed on the radio, I think, for as long as it did, because we built those relationships with radio for those other 3 singles prior. So I think that helped a lot.
It might have helped too that everyone was locked down. There was nothing else to do except listen to music or movies or whatever. So,
yeah, and the song's really good too. So,
yeah, that's a piece of it. I would say, yeah, definitely that helped. Did I hear you say for one of your records, you went and took the records to the radio stations and brought them cupcakes and shit?
Yeah, that was the what do you call that? That was our first. That was our maiden voyage of touring, really, when we went out to do that, and it was. We had no clue what to do, and no one was willing to help us. And we had buddies in the business too, and everybody just wants they don't just give that information away of how you make things, how the business actually works. So, us just being let's just get some cupcakes, and we made our own press packs, and then we there was a map, and we would start out to where you could drive so many hours and hit Flagstaff, Albuquerque. Tucumcari, even though there's nothing there.
Tucumcari, Oklahoma City. Just making the way basically along the 40. And
so going around, and then we'd just call, and then if we couldn't get a gig in the town, we'd still go by the TV station or the radio station there.
Give them a cupcake.
and take them.
Just say hi.
And it worked. There's still relationships today that we have from doing that, you know? So it's
wow.
I mean,
that's smart.
It didn't make a big dent, but it helped us in these local markets. And we also said, we're not going to leave until you eat every last cupcake.
Yeah. So do you think that's still important today with the radio stations, or do you think it's more about the Spotify playlists? I feel like that's what everyone talks about. Like, you got to get on these playlists and then they'll play your music.
It's both.
It's both. Almost what's first, chicken or the egg, or egg before the chicken, you know what I mean? With the way everything's changing, but radio definitely matters. And we're actually leaving this weekend, and we're going to go meet with a few of them.
Yeah, it's all this stuff, I guess. And then the videos. I love the video for Whatcha Got. How fun was that to make that one?
That was fun and a bit awkward, too, because we were doing that in some skanky back alley in Los Angeles, which is where everybody shoots their videos, you know?
Yeah.
It was a little bit weird that way. And then they kind of took our concept and really raunchified it, you know, because there's some things. So we weren't completely sold on it when we saw it. And it's really fun. My dad loves it.
Yeah, I think
it's grown on us a lot, actually.
Yeah, we were pretty nervous.
Was the concept not to get the shit beat out of you, or what?
Well, it was supposed to be like female empowerment kind of thing. And some people thought that she came off a little too, you know, it was like, which it was. What the part was.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Is that what the song was about, though?
Yeah and no. Yeah, kind of. Just like a girl just owning it, I think.
Okay.
Good way to put it in any kind of situation.
Yeah.
We wrote it with Johnny K. And so it's kind of based off an actual situation that he had been in.
Oh, I didn't know he co-wrote with. I know he produced. I didn't know he actually co-writes with you as well.
Yeah, he does. On a lot of the stuff, actually. But this last record, he came down to the Ozarks with us, and we had shells of things, but nothing, you know. There was a couple songs that were done, fleshed out, but he came in and he sat there and stayed with us, and some of them we just wrote top to bottom, and it's just something he pushes you and keeps you going, you know, and brings the best out of you.
Yeah, I like that. I also like that song "Home." I feel like that one was Was that not released as a single, or was it?
It was.
Yeah, we just didn't go to radio with it. You
know, that thing should have blown up. I felt like I don't know what happened. I feel like that was one of those ones that should have been a massive hit, in my opinion.
I saw it on, like, you know, a Hallmark card commercial or something. You know, like something.
Yeah.
It just never. I don't know. They didn't get behind it as much, I think, you know, as we did, because we had to focus on certain tracks. So after what we did with Sunshine, each Hot AC is a different kind of animal, which, you know, Home's not an active rock track.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like it could have been in almost like pop or like a movie or like a Hallmark commercial or something. I mean, maybe it still will.
Hoping, you know, I mean, it's still out there. Hopefully this next this next record will spark interest in, you know, our back catalog as well.
Yeah, so let's talk about the new one. You packed up the studio and you guys went to the Ozarks and you recorded in your label's person's house?
Yeah, pretty much. And it was really fun because, you know, we'd work 5-6 days a week and take a day off and go to the lakes or go to the creek. And sometimes we'd get stuck on lyrics, so we'd go to the creek and just take the acoustics and write lyrics there.
Or you could just walk outside the house and there was just land as far as you could see. So we just go sit on this. It looks like something out of a Pink Floyd photo shoot, or, you know, metal. It's like big rolling hills. So we just sit on the side of it and watch the cars go by, and, you know, drink beer and have acoustics and just wander around.
Hash out some lyrics and stuff.
You can hear it in the songs too, I think. At least we can, you know, because we can see where we were at when we hear those tracks.
Right. So this was also produced by Johnny K, but one of the songs was Eddie Kramer. And I listened to this album so many times. I'm trying to figure out which one is Eddie Kramer song, and I can't figure it out.
See, that's the thing. We're holding on to that one. We didn't put that on there yet.
Oh, you haven't put it out yet?
No, not yet. Wait, I just talked to him the other day because there's some certain elements going on that I can't really talk about. But when it happens, that track's going to be released the same time. He's got some stuff going on. So, and it'll be down the line from the album. So that way it's something.
So I didn't even get a copy of that, even though I had the advanced copy of the album. I don't get the Eddie Kramer track.
Yeah, Yeah, you'll be
Yeah.
one of the first. Though.
We did that first, I think, when we got there. I think we the first the first thing we did was that song.
That's what we did too. We were with Eddie, so we went around the house because he's done that with Led Zeppelin and the Stones and everybody know. And so he ran that first session so we could go around it and figure out where to put stuff to get the tones that we were looking for from kind of that era.
Yeah, we were like doing FaceTime, and he's like, "Get a tape measure, put that microphone,
go get that brick outside, move this here." And,
didn't you use some sort of app where he controlled the knobs and stuff from remotely?
You hear everything in real time through his monitors. Yeah, in Canada.
Like he was in the control room in Canada.
Yeah,
and we were in Missouri.
Yeah, it could have been just like that. Mm-hmm. It was nuts. But that's one of the first times I think that had been done, because as soon as we found out that you couldn't tour, we immediately went into overdrive and like, well, we got to keep moving and stay ahead of the game. So we documented a lot of that too.
Oh, really? Is that coming out?
It will.
It will.
But right now we're just focused on the record. So
okay. Is that I also heard you talking about? Is this the documentary where it's about bands being locked down? There's like other bands in it too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how. Okay.
That one, and then he's got some stuff happening too. So I'm gonna kind of try to
put them together. Yeah,
do it at the same time, kind of thing. So
okay,
if you go along with what he's working on.
Okay, smart, awesome. Well, yeah, some of the songs are out now, like Saturday Night. The video's out. I really liked the "Youth Is Wasted on the Young." That's such a cool track. I love the bass line. It's kind of like almost jazzy, I feel like, but it's darker lyrically. How did you come up with that title? I love that song title.
Yeah, we just were, because we write a lot just hanging out, and I'll hear like a melody in my head, and so you start humming that enough times, words start to fill in those melody lines that you can hear in your brain head. And so eventually just that line came out before anything, so we started building a song around that.
Oh, so the song title came first and then you built it.
Actually,
with the music, I think we
didn't have any
lyrics.
The last two lines were in it. There's a line that says, "There's no life where there's no love. Youth is wasted on the young." Those were earlier, and then when Johnny K come in, he's like, "We should just use that once." He's like, "That's sick, that's use that at the very end." So that was actually the first two lines that came around when we were writing the song, and we just started picturing all the mess that was the world at that point.
Yeah. Well, so that leads into the Hollywood song. That's a catchy title as well, or catchy song. Is that about just disillusionment with like Hollywood and stuff, or?
Yeah. And truth. There's a lot of truth in there too. Some situations we've all been in, we just kind of combined them in the one song, Hollywood can be a little pretentious. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yes, I'm aware. And so then that's also kind of like the third song, also Big Time, because I think you're ready for the big time is the lyric. So who or what, is that about you guys or is that about someone else? I mean, since someone wrecked a green room, like sounds like a cool story. I don't know if it's fictional or.
It's about a couple different people. It's another thing. It's a couple different people combined, and a couple guys that we know. Shall remain nameless because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, even though we think it's a compliment. I can see where somebody would take it very wrong.
Well, so they literally did wreck a green room then?
They're just messy people. They're a messy people.
They're a messy people.
Are you guys messy in the green rooms and stuff, or?
I don't think so. I like to think. I mean,
we like to leave things nicer than when we got there.
Yeah,
or maybe a few beer cans.
Yeah, there might be a couple beer cans, a couple bottles of Jameson.
It depends on.
We're very respectful.
Dead hooker, I don't know, but not much. Usually we don't leave much behind.
Yeah, because it's got to be. It's not like in the olden days where like people just trash stuff and everything. Because now it's like it's more like a business where you don't want to have that band back.
Yeah. Everybody's trying to tour right now, or whatever it is. It reminds me of a funnel, right now, because everybody's been off, couldn't tour, and now everybody wants to tour, and so there's only so many shows,
It's competitive for sure. Everyone's fighting for your attention. It's like it's really competitive with everything, not just music, social media.
Because I remember doing these interviews when COVID happened, and it was totally the opposite. Everybody's like, "Well, what are you going to do?" You just hang out, sit around. And now it's like, you want to do
Let's go.
something. Yeah, and you can't.
Well, that was smart to start recording the next album, even though you had just put out one. It's like, because, yeah, what else were you going to do?
Yeah, we were really able to like take our time with it too, which was really rad, because I think we're used to kind of pumping songs out pretty quick. And I like having some time with some things, because we really taken a lot of some of the lyrics and stuff like that in this album because we had the time to do it. I mean, we spent 3 months.
Well, this is the first one we've done,
months.
you know, consecutively where we haven't stopped and had to go on the road in between tracking. So,
Well, and isn't this the first one that you've actually been able to write with, Jordan? Because wasn't a lot of stuff with Sunshine already written before you joined?
I probably wrote only, but I probably didn't write like one or two on that track, on that album.
Oh,
so
okay.
Home, and then I think there was a song that was already done. Sunshine, part of Sunshine was already written, but we split that. Other than that, I contributed on that album as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the song On and On, I heard that and I was like, I recognize. Do you guys play that live before? Because I recognized it.
That was an old one that we revamped, and
we've had that song for a long time.
It's got some new life into it now. It's a little bit different than we used to.
We brought it to Johnny K and kind of made it a little bit different. And but yeah, that one we have played before.
Yeah, that one's a cool. I think you played it in Mexico at that Atomic Weekend thing. It sounded familiar.
Sure, we did. We've been playing it a lot for the past year.
Yeah,
It just took a while to suss out.
Yeah, I like it. Junkie Excuses. That one's like, that was another one where I'm like, okay, who's this about? Because it's like trashing my house, wrecking my car. Is this another an amalgam of different people, or?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't know how to answer that.
You can take that one a lot of ways, though. Like, you know what I mean? It could be very personal, or you can see there's a lot of vagueness in that song as well. It's like, you know,
it's not.
I left the light. Yeah, I left the light on just in case you feel like coming home is the chorus, and like you can take that a lot of ways. You know what I mean? The verses are very literal, but the choruses is like, you know, it doesn't matter what you're going through or somebody else's, your cousin, your mom, your dad, whoever it is. And then like, you know, you're just letting them know like, hey man, you're a mess of a human being right now. Like you're shitty, but I'm your friend. I'm your loved one, and I got your back. So if you need some place to crash tonight after your binge, you got a couch or something. It's like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like.
But with that being said, like there are those pieces again of truth, because I started it because my mom came out here to visit me, and she left my sister back home to handle things, you know. And by the time she got home, my sister trashed her house and wrecked her car. So that's definitely real.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's also kind of almost has like a happy vibe. Like it's almost like a happy riff. That's what's. But then the lyrics are very dark.
Had this Stones thing going on because at the time there was Greta that was, you know, doing a lot of the more Zeppelin-y, Aerosmith kind of stuff, and then Dirty Honey, same kind of thing. And nobody really went down the Stones kind of vibe, like Exile on Main Street, you know?
Yeah.
We're in that house, we weren't going anywhere. So we went a little more on some of those songs like that and Big Time. They're not country songs, but they're more of that Stones, Exile on Main Street era, I think.
Yeah, kind of like the leading me on. That's kind of like that bluesy kind of same kind of vibe, catchy.
Yeah, sure.
Junkie Excuses is probably my favorite song on the new album. I just had a comment on that because we were talking about it, because I didn't even know you were going to bring it up. But yeah, I honestly, like, I think it's like back to a comment on what he said earlier, like back to sitting on like the hill and just like hanging out, trying to write lyrics. Like that song in particular is like really Missouri, very Monette, very Monette, where we wrote it in Monette, Missouri. And it's like, it was just like, to me, it just has that vibe straight up. You know what I mean? I think we really captured that. Like you can kind of close your eyes and see what we were doing.
Yeah, I can definitely see what you're doing with The Cure. That's like a haunting, like a spooky. It's gotta be about COVID and the vaccine, right? I mean,
about a chick. It just worked out that it was.
It kind of.
That was coming from like a girl or a guy, whoever you're in love with or got a thing for, that, you know, we always go back to why is something so bad so good kind of thing, you know. It's that kind of idea.
Or something so good so bad.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. But you know, just those problems that you go through, but you're like addicted to it, you know.
No, that's a cool song. I just love that riff.
Wow. So yeah, sure, it's about COVID too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's got to be partly inspired by that, right?
It just worked because we tossed around. We were trying to come up with an album title. We tossed it around like we should call it The Cure because it's coming out of this now, and we have medicine. Just and we got and so we had lists and lists. Everybody had lists of song titles or album titles.
So then, yeah, you settled on Into the Night. So what made you settle on that?
It sounded really cool.
Finally, we found one that he liked.
And these guys, they're just like,
and I was like, I don't give a shit.
We went through it like a bunch.
It's
and then,
been so long. Just pick one.
We'd be on meetings, and everybody, we get an album title in 2 weeks, and we have the meeting. Everybody get quiet, and wait on me, and then everybody agree on something, and then I'd wait a week, and it's like I'm not feeling that. And also, we just didn't want to name it after a song on the record, We've done that with Sunshine.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, it just worked. And then everybody kind of sat with it for a few days and then agreed on it. So.
I think it worked for the songs too. Like we have the song Saturday Night, which is like a party song, you know what I mean? Going out Hollywood. And then that song Junkie Excuses, again, back to that. But like the Left the Light On, just, that's like somebody kind of going out into the night, like going to find their own vice and everything like that. You know what I mean? So I think we found a common theme finally after 3 months of listening to it to find it, but we did, and I think it works.
Yeah. No, it totally works. It's great. And then the track Two Kinds of People. I don't want to spoil that one, but can you say whose voice is that on the?
It's a really good old friend of ours from Nashville. And
okay.
Funniest guy
just
ever.
The way he talks is just so funny.
And he's in the business, has been for a while, but he's always been good to give us advice. And I've known him since I was 19, and he was managing the Gin Blossoms, and I was on the road with them.
Oh.
Always after every demo I would record or anything like that, I'd send it to him immediately because I thought he's going to hear this, he's going to freak out, he's going to call me. It's awesome, it's done. And then every time he'd be like, hey, how's it going? Like he didn't get it, and he's give me more advice, and I'd go back and do it. And finally, he left us that message when I sent him the record, and just talking about how proud he was and all that kind of stuff.
Aww.
And that there's two kinds of people in this world, What's he say?
There's two kinds of people: those that like the black moods and those that don't like the black.
He's like, I'd like to think I'm on the right side. And then he drops the phone. He's like, boom.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you seen the Gin Blossoms on this recent tour? I just saw them. That's the first time I'd ever seen them. They play the entire Miserable Experience album from front to back.
We were out with them on a leg of that. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
before COVID.
Before COVID, we were, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
And play, but we've seen them. We hang out with Jesse, lives pretty close, and we see him quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, they're good guys that are really good friends of ours.
Yeah, you're a huge fan. Yeah, that was the first time I'd seen them. I was like, oh, this is good. It'd be cool if you guys continued and tour with them. That'd be a fun one.
There's some shows coming up.
Yeah.
They'll still have us.
Yeah, something in the fall. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, yeah. So the show's coming up. So did they reschedule that Metallica, the show that you were going to open for Metallica, that festival?
I think that got canceled. That was one of the shows.
It got canceled.
That one, because that was in North Carolina, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's how we got added to Aftershock. I don't remember.
So we did the Sacramento show.
We did the Sacramento Aftershock show, but not the.
It was crazy because they had, I don't know how many stories the screens were on each side, and I bet we were through 4 songs before I realized that I was the size of a building next to me, and then I had to fight to not check it out because he was just blown away the first time you see yourself. I mean, I was high, but I wasn't that high. It was crazy.
That is crazy. Well, and then you did the tour with the Dead Daisies and Don Jamieson. How did that go? Because that's interesting. I was interested in having a comedian open it.
It was crazy. Actually, he was during changeover.
Yeah. Oh, really?
We'd play, and then when the crew's changing over, he'd come out and do his thing. He's funny. He wound up on our bus every day.
Yeah, after second night, he's like, you could hear him as we're moving shit out. He's like, were those girls hot or what?
Yeah, he'd come in and start talking. That was one of these things. He's like, were those chicks hot or what?
Yeah, that's cool. And then tell me about the shows with the Robby Krieger from the Doors. You took over and sang?
Yeah, that was our 50th anniversary of the Doors that he went out and did a run on. And we played handful of shows with them. and his son sings for him in the Robby Krieger band, and he was just sick as a dog. And we did like 3 or 4 shows in a row. And he'd come up. I was at the merch booth, and he'd come up to him backstage, and he's like, "Man, you guys."
He's like, "Can you sing?"
Yeah, can.
I'm like, "No, but I know somebody who can."
So I'm at the merch booth signing stuff, and he's like, "Hey, you need to come backstage." And I'm like, "Get off me," you know? And
I'm like,
I'm
"Get
busy.
your ass on stage,
He's
like right now."
They want you to sing. And I was like, what was like the Tweety Bird exiting frame really fast, a little cloud of smoke, a lot of smoke, you know? And,
Did you know all the songs, or did you have to read some of the lyrics?
Yeah, because it was like it was the end of the night, and so I came up and did Roadhouse. And
That's my favorite Doors song.
And he just killed it, and we've got a picture of it here in the studio of him and I. But it was really great. So I did it a few nights in a row, and I think when we did Tempe, I did
that one.
Soul Kitchen, yeah. And Soul Kitchen, and Robby was so nice. He came up to me the first night. He's like, "Thank you." He whispered to me right on stage. He's like, "Thank you, Josh." You know, he's like, "Do you want a guitar?" I'm like, "Nope." You play the guitar. I want to focus on not screwing this up, you know, because I mean, not everybody gets to fill in for Jim Morrison, especially on the 50th anniversary of the thing. So that was a bucket list I didn't know I had on my bucket list.
That's amazing. Yeah. Whose idea was it? Because when I went to see you guys on the Atomic Weekend, you covered the Old Man Down the Road. I always kept saying, like, somebody needs to cover the song. It's such a good song, and it lends itself to being updated. And that's that. You started playing that riff. I went nuts. I was like, "What?" So whose idea was that?
Well, I mean, I grew up listening to that song all the time. It was just in my DNA, you know. Mm-hmm. But a good friend of ours, that I grew up with, Kevin Pryor from he's in a band called The Real Fakes. He used to be in the backing actually a while back when we first started. But he comes and sits in with us every once in a while, like just hanging in the studio. And right, isn't that how it was?
Yeah, we were just messing around. Actually, I think you were just messing around on the guitar and that riff, and I was like, "What was that?"
Yeah, we know it so much, so you know, it's like so well. It's just there. So I just started doing it, and he started playing it,
and it's just really fun to play.
It's a blast.
It's so easy, and it
rocks.
And
songs ever.
Yes, that riff is just so. When you started doing that, I was like, "Oh, I hope you guys play that every time now. I love it."
Great, all right,
maybe we will.
Just let me know when you're there, so I can.
Okay. Yeah. I'll make a request. I'll just scream it out from the audience. So you guys have a lot of shows coming up. Circus Mexicus, Tucson, and then the Lion's Den. That's the one I want to go to. That's in Pine Top, right?
Oh, such a blast.
Yeah, it's always nice there.
Yeah. So how do you, I forget how the Atomic Weekend, you don't play the same songs both nights, or do you play some of the same, or I forget how it went?
Some of the same, but we try to make, we do it we try to make things different for everybody, including us.
We've got enough of the catalog, and we'll definitely change the covers up. We don't do that twice in a row, you know.
Yeah, especially when we play, 90 minutes or, up to almost 2 hours or whatever.
But live, songs like Belladonna and Sunshine go really well. So those two easily.
Yeah, we'll leave those probably back in there. But
yeah, any other shows? I know there was one that Wisconsin Dells with the guy from the Scott Stapp from was he Creed, right? Creed singer.
Good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great too. We saw them in Nashville last year.
I was pretty impressed, because they get a bad rap. He gets a bad rap.
Oh, he's great.
He's no different than every other rocker that's had problems, and now he's come back around kicking ass again. And I was really impressed.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and I think, do you have any other shows that are not like on the website that you want to announce here or that you can talk about?
Not yet. Not that we can really talk about. We got a bunch of stuff.
4th of July.
I got the MS, but yeah, the 4th of July we're
in Prescott at Watson Lake.
Ooh, that would be where in Watson Lake? Is a stage?
Setting up a whole thing. There's supposed to be about 20,000 people at this thing.
Yeah, they're expecting.
They're shutting down. They're shutting down the freeway and all kinds of stuff. He says.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a cool backdrop. That's like reminds me of. Have you guys ever been to the Gorge in Washington State?
I have not.
Oh, that's one of the coolest venues. You've seen Red Rocks, right, in Colorado? Yeah, it rivals that. I think it's like those two are two of the best venues to see a show at.
Good. When we play there, we'll put you on the guest list.
Really? All right, I'm marking it down. I got it on video now. Hey, when did you guys come up I want to ask you about the shredding video where you're like, I have a problem. I thought that was so funny. I'm surprised that didn't go more like viral because I thought it was really funny.
It's just our luck that it doesn't. But Jim Kaufman, who produced our first 2 records,
yeah,
actually out in LA at Ocean Way or United, it's called now, at the studio. And he just had this idea, you know, to do this, you know, because he's always talking about shredding, and none of us are shredders. We don't do it, you know, I can't do that kind of stuff, but it was just really good. And Kevin Martin from Candlebox happened to be in on the session too. So he's one of the guys sitting there with us in the circle.
Oh, I didn't think I noticed that.
Yeah.
He's wearing the glasses, you know.
Yes, and our friend Richard, he plays. Richard was Dead Posey. Dead Posey, yeah, and then Jim and his assistant. And, it was just really funny.
No, I thought that was hilarious. Cool. Well, and then you guys ought to promote the all the merch and cool stuff you have on the website, the 2 wines and anything else that we should promote here.
It's the new record coming out.
Yeah,
June 3rd.
Into the Night.
And so people can get it on Spotify and all that, Apple Music. Can they get like a vinyl copy or a CD or?
Yeah, it'll be available. Pre-orders are coming out soon for the CDs, and then the vinyl soon after that.
Actually, in the next few days, we're going to have all that stuff up. So
pre-save it on all of those platforms. That's what everybody
and then pre-order it.
Yeah.
And actually, we also have one more track being released for that on the same day. Youth is Wasted.
We get to see the video for Youth is Wasted on the Young tonight. We haven't seen a final copy, but our final edit. But we got to take over a high school
for 3 days.
Because it was the end of the year, you know.
Yeah.
We got to. It's kind of Sabotage meets Learn to Fly. If you've seen those two videos, the Foo Fighters one and the Beastie Boys.
Tom Petty.
Yeah, Beastie Boys. No, the Learn to Fly.
Sabotage. Yeah. Okay.
Tenacious D in it and stuff. So,
which high school did you take over?
Combs
High School. Combs, way out in Santan Valley, Arizona.
Oh.
Because he's the gym teacher, he's the Spanish teacher. I'm the principal. Then they play the stoners too.
Yeah.
I play the girl and the.
Wait, you're a principal? Do you have like your hair?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a wig on or something?
It's like multiple. We all play multiple characters.
Yeah. And then it turns into like the Breakfast Club with all the we're running down the hallways. And eventually we're playing for the kids outside, you know.
Yeah, for 1,000 kids, and they're going absolutely crazy.
Definitely going to be the funniest
Youth is
video.
Wasted on the Young, yeah.
That sounds, I love that song too. So you're going to push that one to the radio too?
Sure, I hope so.
Yeah, we're gauging now to see where Saturday night is, because that's the main focus right now at radio. Yeah. But
you're still pushing that one then?
Yeah, it just got added to Tucson and Reno and Las Vegas.
Yeah, and as a couple days ago, yesterday we were at 48, so it fluctuates, but you know.
Okay, so yeah, because I'm watching the charts too, and I'm like, because the other songs charted and these ones haven't yet, but like you still have to push it. How do you send them the Cupcakes again, or like you just call them, or how do you?
Past that point right now, I mean, we still do because we love those guys. And
we made a lot of friends in radio.
Yeah. But right now, it's because the other songs are the same way. It just took once it hits radio. Because there's so many singles going out right now, so you're fighting for air, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think. I feel like half these songs are singles. Like they're all like this one's good. This one's like so. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see which one. Because once you release the album, then you'll see the Spotify will show you which one's most popular, right?
And Hollywood actually has done really well, and The Cure. So it's just strange. It's a strange business, but yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Lots of good songs. Okay, cool. Well, I will put all this stuff in the show notes. And then is there a charity? Last time you guys were here, you promoted a breast cancer and Alzheimer's charity. Is it so you want to just promote the same thing this time, or is there anything else that's closer?
We don't have anything right now in the works with like any charities, but we were working with Joybus a while ago, but that was in the past. So
yeah, the Joybus we did their commercial for them.
Yeah.
What's Joybus? I'm not familiar.
Joybus is a charity, a nonprofit thing that goes around and takes like meals, like good home cooked meals and stuff to cancer patients and stuff, especially during the pandemic.
They couldn't leave their houses,
so they would. So we played a fundraiser thing for them, and then we did the commercial for the Wow Wheat, because a lot of the proceeds from that go to the Joybus from Four Peaks Brewery.
Oh, perfect! Yeah, I love Four Peaks too, so that's it. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I'll probably see you at the Pine Top shows then. That'll be the most recent one.
Yeah, let us know. We'll take care of you at the door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Will do. Thanks.
Later, buddy.
See ya. Once again, the album is called Into the Night. It's coming out soon, June 3rd, or if you're listening past that date, then it's already out. and great songs. Make sure to support the Black Moods by streaming the album or buying a physical copy. You can also buy some really cool merch on their website, red or white wine, and lots of other cool stuff. And then go buy a ticket and see them live. They put on a great show. You can also follow them on social media. That's another way to support them. You can follow me on social media. That would help support me and the show, as well as your likes, comments, and shares and all that good stuff. And again, make sure to subscribe to the show on YouTube or wherever you listen to get updated for future episodes. And if you really want to go all out and support the show, I'd love for you to write me a review on Apple Podcasts or give me a rating on Spotify or wherever you listen. That stuff helps so that more people can find the podcast. And we only grow through you. So we don't have a big corporation backing us up here. It's all grassroots. So I appreciate any support you can give me. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day. And remember to shoot for the moon.